All right, guys, here we are to talk about iZombie, episode 10, season 3. This episode wasn't shit.
Really?
There were shitty bits, but it actually, like, I felt like, okay, some things opened up, some things happened.
So if we did any show prep research or like,
I can't even remember what happened in the episode.
no, if we did anything, I would have like actually looked up the writer and like director of this episode
To see if it was different.
because this felt like episodes of old. There were several like music things and good cuts and like funny timing. Like there's hardly any editing. I feel like to begin with, let alone like funny editing on this show. And this did a lot of like things. Were kind of like reminded me of like certain other episodes, but not not many of the ones we've seen lately. Or whatever.
There, of course, like everything else, are the cringy moments of this episode.
Yeah.
And something I thought I just couldn't remember what happened to Stacy Boss.
Okay.
And then I was like, is he dead? And then I thought you said I think he's a zombie. And then
no, he's not a zombie. No.
But I literally can't remember when he left. I know it was in that same episode with the guy who I brought up last time we talked, and I'm like, oh, what a coincidence! She's eating brains that gives her memories of fucking her dead boyfriend. Because I was just like, what was his name?
No, and actually, we were just talking about like, shouldn't her like impulses as like the brained person like transfer onto the, and they spell it out here in this like cringy detail where she has to literally tell the audience, "Oh, I'm not gonna see visions of his wife. I'm gonna see visions of someone that that means something to me."
Yeah.
Which I thought was so silly to have to like explain that to us because that's clearly how it like works. Right?
I do think, though, it would have been more interesting if she was seeing
his wife.
his wife,
I know.
and his wife doesn't, it's his brain, so she should be treating her the same way.
Like
that
it's him.
Yeah, I think that would have been interesting.
One of those two things has to happen, but the show's like demonstrated that like when she's like the D&D guy, she's not like, where's the usual group? Why am I DMing this weird pale girl's life? Like it all automatically transformed. Like Asian dad is like overprotective of like Major and Robbie, not like where's my daughter? Like she doesn't literally become them. So,
in some ways she does. Like it's a very inconsistent and annoying show in that regard. But
we had just talked about how like shouldn't it transfer? Shouldn't that be a thing? And then in this episode, like the very next time, she has to say, "Oh," and like transfer the thing or whatever.
It's funny. It's like when you hear a word and all of a sudden it's like
just keep hearing that
word
again, over and over again. I didn't know anyone said delineate so much.
Every day.
Every day. I would have guessed 0 times per day average.
Turns out a terrible guess.
2.
At least 3. So just to skip
jump around
to a cringy moment here.
Jump around.
When they're when the calls goes through and says like, "Hey, you want to kick some ass or whatever?" I was like, "All right." And then like they start just like like, "All right, let me just pinch you or whatever and bite you and knock you up and make you fucking want to fight." And then they just turn and like I'm like, "All right." I was a little mad that it ended there because I was like, I wanted to know what was gonna happen right there. But I guess that's as good a place as any. And this show does have a habit of picking up immediately where it left off sometimes, so I think we'll pick right into that.
And this, it's the cliffhanger thing on like the episodic show. Sometimes when they're doing a thing, they have to do something like this or whatever. But no, them in the car listening to heavy metal with like the zombie like makeup or whatever was very much like, okay.
Do you like Don E as a American like World War II victim captured in an internment camp type of character?
No, that was fine because like the serial number or whatever, and they're like, why is he acting like whatever they said? They said something that I did not write down.
I like how he kept calling him Fritz.
Yeah, it's like,
come on, Fritz.
Why is he acting like he's on Hogan's Heroes?
Yeah.
All that stuff. No, him being captured, all that stuff. Because I was worried he was just going to be a full-blown zombie forever. So it turned out it was just them frantically trying to get out.
No, and that makes sense.
So we got some good like scenes or something like that. It ends though with like Ravi being like, "Don't do this," and like trying to explain to these redneck Nazi people like he winces when I give them injections. They feel pain. We've got to do this. I need more time to do research and all that stuff. And then they're just like, "We're going whatever." Whole fucking it's like very
you like how he knocks that dude out and that dude like doesn't wake up and go, "You just knocked me out."
No problem. He's not like, "Wow, my neck hurts." Also, this guy's just whatever the fuck. No, I know. That being played off was fucking crazy. I guess it's like, oh, their operation is so low rent that like they don't even notice when that doesn't make any sense. Nothing makes any sense.
No, that was a little bad. I had a couple other cringy things that I since can't remember, it seems.
Anything related to the rednecks and the kidnapping or whatever? Photographer shows up.
Yeah, I thought it was weird. So the photographer shows up, doesn't snap any pictures.
Doesn't appear to have a camera. Does she have a camera?
I didn't notice one if she had one.
I didn't notice the camera.
And that's weird.
I thought something was
like
up with her. I thought something was up with her, but then nothing's been up with her. So I'm very like, what's going on?
And she very quickly, you find out, is like on Ravi's side, essentially. So I'm like, oh, it's as if they're writing in another love interest, because everyone needs to have one, you cheap sons of bitches.
Right, they're over in the corner, like, we can't be doing this to this zombie. Zombies are people, too, and then all the
This show's love interest thing is actually brutal.
It's out of control.
I hate these glary fucking things. I hate the love interest situation in this. And if we were gonna go into hating of things, Major, holy shit, that girl.
Problem?
What is that? What is that? Major is a normal person. And like, you know, he's painted as like, you know, not a deviant or a sex fiend or anything crazy.
Sometimes
he's not drugged. He's just a normal guy who's in, like, you know, an apartment, in a house rather, you know, where, like, you know, people do come by. He's got a roommate. Granted, he was out of town, but is that the time to make a fort in the living room? Like, it just seems so out of character. And this show is all about that, where like they set up a character in one way and then they completely 180 him somewhere else. And it felt very weird and rushed, and Major's like a nice guy, and it didn't seem like he approached us how his character would normally approach something.
Yes, no, my main thing was kind of like, okay, apparently he's banging this girl he met on the internet all day. Like, they even skipped over the scenes where she's like, I understand. And then he's like, you know, I just feel with you that, like, something, like no. They were just immediately banging super hardcore.
Exactly, it was, like, and she's like a groupie. Like, I have to imagine you're going to find out.
Well, we didn't even really establish what she is. We just know that she's banging.
Weird. It's so weird.
It was like that episode of Scrubs where they're chilling out in the thing. So she just has his like button-up shirt on or something like that, and they're just chilling or whatever the fuck.
I like when Drake's like, it smells like hot sex in there.
It reeks of sex. The Drake stuff was good. He's not great, but that was good.
I liked that guy. Yeah. I don't think I've ever seen him in anything other than this.
No, yeah.
Potentially I won't.
Sometimes his delivery is very actory or whatever the fuck.
He's got a Mook's delivery, and I think he's playing a Mook, so that works.
Okay, he's Mookie, sure.
You know what I mean by that? Like,
I do.
He seems dumb.
Okay,
but I like that.
Well, I don't think they want you to think he seems dumb.
What they want and what I get are two different things.
Yeah, I know. That's what I mean. Like, that may be why I'm saying like it doesn't feel quite right or something, or feel good or whatever. No, yeah. So they included the thing where you know, she's like, "Oh my God, you went to camp whatever too," and then it's like, sing the song,
and films it.
So films it is weird, and I was like, "Oh, this will be how we find out that like she's faking. She just has this fucking dossier and fucking. She knows he went to camp whatever, but she doesn't know the song, does she?" And then I expected him to be like, "Now you sing." Come on, what are you, embarrassed? And I'll keep singing. And, you know, something to make us think like, oh, she doesn't know the words. What's going on? And then, just, just have her do like a little something, something. But there was like nothing, right? There's fucking nothing.
I want it to cut back to the next episode, and she's in like a room, like an office-y bit, and there's like 3 other dudes, and then she snaps into like being like this like militant type, and she's like, this is your blah blah, and it cuts that video on the screen, like him singing, this is who you think the blah blah, like, you know, like obviously not the Chaos Killer. We can't like.
Okay.
Something like that.
Oh, like her angle is to like be like he's not the case. Like clearly, you know.
I don't know.
I infiltrated him. I gave him every chance to confess, but he still denies it. I've like won him over. You know. And here's further proof. And he's like singing this fucking thing. I don't know what her angle is. I automatically assume everyone is insidious and trying to hurt people.
Well, that I do think she's
trying to hurt the people I love.
A bad guy.
Okay. She looks like a bad guy
in some way. She looks. I don't know. She has a weird face to me where I'm like, I don't trust you.
Bad guy face.
I don't know. I'd like to see what she looks like in real life.
Oh, okay.
I want to know what's on screen versus what she actually looks like.
Sure.
Maybe she always looks like a bad guy. I don't know.
She just has resting bad guy face.
Yeah, you know. What happens with so Clive's
the case?
Yeah.
Oh God. Well, the case here is mostly looking into Weckler. Or am I? Yeah. That was the brain this time, right?
Yes. She had that one sitting in the blue juice. I need you to know what this. They find out that he did. What do you got?
That's the stuff. So Peyton immediately goes whole hog as like a dominatrix. It triggers the
vision.
Yeah,
that's so weird. And like when it's beyond the moment, it's still happening. And like It's just these are those pandering moments where it's like
fan service.
It's like, oh, this week Xena has to be a stripper or whatever.
We're going
like,
to
I hate those episodes.
It's the Hot Springs episode of like the anime or whatever.
We do this just to get the main character in a bikini so we can get a picture so we can show that at the con. Like, what are you doing?
I love it.
I don't like anything that strikes me as you're aiming at a certain target or you're doing something. I'm like, our ratings slipping? Is that why all of a sudden like you're doing an episode where like, oh, we got to fight for gay rights or whatever your flavor of the week is?
They even had like a silly little thing where like she's like, I have to tell you something, and then she's like, I told you I'm not interested, but if I ever do switch, from dudes, I'll call her or some weird thing like that. Or like what? And then immediately, I don't know. That's fine.
I guarantee is that one of these times she's gonna get like a very lesbian brain.
Super lesbian brain.
Yeah, that's gonna happen.
I'm moving in. No, like what I like about this though is the awkward moment where she has the vision. And then it's this like you never.
And she pulls her phone out
and then later it was the best line ever. Fucking like Clive and her are just like waiting and it's all like awkward or something like that. And it's like, well, did you see the killer? And then he goes, she never does, or something like that. Or those little call outs where it's like, she always acts like the person we're investigating. Those like little like knowing referential lines or something like that. But I really like the choice not to show us the visions. And to show us how awkward it is for everyone else when she has these extra long visions, and they're just like looking around, fucking like.
Do these scenes ever make you think like, were they gonna, but they couldn't find the right set? Did they like, well, how can we fix that? How can we? All right, let's do this. Because there's a lot of things where, and sometimes it's like, that's my favorite bit, but really it's just like it was just us, cheaply getting out of something.
So on the one hand, yes, now I do, and now I hate it. But for a brief moment,
here for you.
For a brief moment, I liked it because I thought and that was part of what I meant about like the writing being different or something like that. Like this is a show that, like a lot of shows, looks like it's like a shoebox diorama of like a play of like, here's the show, guys, and it's not really a lot of very interesting like shots and angles and all that shit. So to have in like the same episode. Like you don't see her visions, like Drake's there, but sometimes he's not there. Like you're like CCTV and then Ravi and stuff. Like there's all these different visual things of like what's going on and all that shit. So I was like, oh, this is an interesting episode. But yeah, they probably just already tore down the dominatrix death set. Yeah. And they were like, we can't film there. Oh, I know what we'll do. But I don't know. That's the story behind Jaws as well, right? And that's why that's good. So maybe it's good still, but it's a shitty reason for it to be good.
Things can be good and have bad reasoning why they're good.
I'm sure that's the reason, though.
Speaking of,
take back all the credit I gave anyone.
Did Ravi wearing that pantyhose? How weird did he?
That was amazing.
I honestly was like, who the hell is that? I don't know why just pushing his beard makes him look like 100% different person.
He looks so different. I was like, oh my god, who like a genie got stuck by a bee, got stung by a bee. He looked crazy. He looked so weird. Oh my god.
Were you kind of hoping that Donnie bit his head?
And he became a zombie forever?
Yeah.
A little bit. I mean, does biting even do it in this show? Does it have to be scratching?
I have to believe
is
biting
scratching
does
just
it
extra?
Too.
They've acted like scratching is the whole thing. Has anyone ever been bitten?
I think it's like don't even get scratched.
Like, okay. And they still like he tore out his scratching nails or whatever the fuck, and I'm like, what the fuck? Okay, that's fine.
That's a message. Well, it's because tearing out his teeth would have been messy.
I wonder if he's gonna be a zombie though slowly now.
I don't think it actually broke the skin.
Do you think he'll ever become a zombie?
I don't know. If this show goes on long enough, everyone will be a zombie.
Everyone will eventually be a zombie and then not be a zombie and then be a zombie again, back and forth.
Then something
forever.
new. I'm a werewolf.
You know how long I've been waiting for them to introduce other things to this show, and it just has always been nothing but zombies.
I don't believe they ever will.
They never will. But
and
that's the right choice. But it became such like the thing with all these shows to be like, well, it turns out everything's real, and I'm Medusa or something. What the fuck?
You would think though, at one point there'd be like a Halloween episode where like somebody like the killer looks like they were killed by a vampire or something. Like,
as a misdirect,
are vampires
even, right?
real? And then, like, ultimately
don't be ridiculous. Says the zombie. It's like, oh, well, fuck.
You would think. They made it 3 seasons and we haven't had one of those yet? That's a little strange.
Is that, like, a credit to them, or is that, like, a bad thing?
I don't know. It seems like everything else is like, kind of weird and semi-generic. You'd think you'd have one of those things
There's
in
still
every
time.
show.
We have more to this season.
Presumably there's one more season
I imagine there's seasons to come.
We'll see.
Although I'm waiting for those magic words, series finale, to like, hit us. We got the Ninja Please moment. Did you catch that?
I certainly caught that.
That's the Yakuza guy, right?
And
that she fought in the
right
apartment.
To face, he's like,
yeah. No, I thought that was really funny. I laughed at that actually, where he's like, she's like a mutant, And then Peyton starts with the thing of like,
it makes it seem like Ninja Turtle.
That reminded me of in like Batman when it's like, so let me get this straight. You think your boss puts on a bet and then goes through the whole thing, and you want to do what? And he's like, oh, that's where like, ugh. But he chose to mutter "Ninja, please" instead, which I was like, what? And there you go. I don't know. That's all tracking down the thing. We eventually end up at Tatum, the daughter. Like, there's this long fucking trail, right, with the guard, and she sees a shadow, and it's a guard, and they interview the guard, and he's dead. This long fucking thing to get to, like, Weckler's daughter, Tatum.
The kid and her friend, or babysitter, or whatever. I couldn't tell how old that person was.
Did you see this coming?
That they'd be sipping on Go-Gurts?
Brain Gurts? Yeah.
No.
I saw it coming.
I didn't even know they'd be going there.
They play like the call from like Weckler's thing, and he says to he says to his daughter,
or whatever.
What?
What did she say? Leave it alone, or forget about it, or.
Well, okay, so she says like, did they make you do it or some bullshit? I forget about the main thing because he says to her, are they keeping you fed or something like that? Instead of like some other thing.
I didn't hear that.
So the way that he phrased that, I was like, oh shit, is she a zombie? That doesn't make any sense. That would be ridiculous. And then it cuts to her. Interesting. Because just those choice of words, keeping you fed or something like that. So she's being like held there maybe or something, right?
Do you think he's
she was
even
all
dead?
Uncomfortable. Oh.
The security guard?
Well, the security guard or like Weckler?
He went over the boat.
Yeah.
Well, didn't she eat Weckler's brain?
Yes, he's dead.
So
he's totally
dead. Yeah.
Were you an idiot?
But the security guard, do you think he's dead? He went over the side of the boat. That wouldn't kill a zombie.
Probably. I don't know if he's a zombie.
As I'm saying, maybe they're all in on it.
Well, so this is interesting though to me, is that there's this whole zombie underbelly potentially.
Yeah.
I don't know where
it's
these
weird
zombies
though that
fit in.
like it's weird that his daughter's a zombie and he's not, and I wonder. Like,
and he knows, and he's like, "Are they keeping you well fed?"
That's what's weird. And if he was a zombie, should she not have known, like when eating his brain?
I don't think he can be a zombie then, right? Because
I don't think you can eat a zombie's brain, but I also don't know that we ever tried.
That's true. Double zombie.
I don't know.
I think he's not a zombie. I think she is. We're not sure why. We're not sure how this ties into Fillmore Graves. If it does,
everything is all wrapped together.
Well, I was gonna say, like, if it doesn't, though, this is the toe in the water to introduce a whole like 3rd or 10th faction or whatever we're calling it here. But yeah, they're sipping on the Go-Gurts as they're riding away, and they fucking clocked Liv as a zombie immediately. They were like, "Oh, so zombies work for the you sent LPD now, fuck," and this whole thing.
Yeah.
So something's happening there. I don't know. Interesting.
I don't think any other party could independently, accidentally be using Go-Gurts as brains. They have to all be part of Fillmore
not from
Graves.
some supplier
that
or
would
whatever.
be my.
That's true.
Because there's not just a supply. Like you don't just go like 1-900 brains in Go-Gurt-containers.com and like just.
If I were a young enterprising brainsmith, I might sell far and wide.
Maybe you would.
Speaking of enterprising brainsmiths, you hinted at Stacy Boss earlier.
Yeah, so Stacy
Boss is back.
And like repeatedly doing dumb shit. Shoot him in the fucking head.
I know.
Why
he doesn't know or whatever the
Even
fuck.
if you don't know, you slit his throat once.
True.
You know, does he know he was shot in the stomach once? I forget if he knows that. But regardless, you know that the man is very kill-proof, at the very least. He starts off by shooting him a bunch of times in the chest, and then he goes to go for the neck again. Try something different.
Well, he's a man of habits, and he thinks that the neck's a good
if
attack.
If I shot you 3 times, right, and after the first time you didn't fall, I'm hitting you in the head, like you're gone.
Sure.
Like that's just how I do it.
Right.
Like, oh my God, because there are people like, oh, he's muscular or has good endurance, but when your brain gets splattered, you're gone. It doesn't matter.
Okay.
And I don't care if you have an open casket. I'm here to kill you.
That would have ruined the show.
Yeah, but it'd be great. It would actually be great, though, if once, accidentally, someone does it exactly right, and they just never even know he's a zombie. No, I killed him. What do you mean you killed him? I shot him. But he's a zombie. What do you mean zombie?
That's not possible.
Yeah.
Like, what do you mean? One shot, one kill. That's what they call me. What?
They call me one shot.
It's a long nickname. Oh. Yeah, but he shows up. Did you like the cold open beginning part where his wife is on the phone complaining about him, and he sneaks by her and gets the fucking...
I liked more than that the idea that he had his money hidden in a box that said size 2s because she can't wear those.
There you go.
Not a size 2.
Hence.
That I thought was genius. Like, that's where you hide it.
And Stacy Boss has this cool, charismatic, whatever, thing.
I like him as an actor. I think he's a good person.
He's cool. He had some little nuggets throughout his, history on this show, and I'm glad he's back, I guess.
Yeah.
Going into business with the Blainster. The brain biz.
And I'm sure that can be good. But also, I don't think I'd ever do that because you're going into business now with a guy who's tried to kill you 3 times. At least 3 times.
Well, but he has international connections.
No, I know. I'm not saying I wouldn't want him as
Sure.
Blaine. I'm saying, well, actually, no, I wouldn't want him as Blaine. If I was Blaine, I would not want him.
Yeah.
The guy tried to kill you 3 times. Like, I'm certainly going to try a 4th time, and this time I'm going to, like, set you on fire and blow your head up. Like,
you might be thinking he's just waiting for his chance to
yeah,
free himself from your extortive
If you were going to do
rule.
this, the smart move would have been to scratch him. Like, keep him under your thumb.
And be like, hey, turns out now you need me a lot. And I need you, I guess. Anyway, like, because I could kill you right now.
Yeah.
Because I know how. I don't know. The whole zombie thing's weird on this show because it's like the old thing of like, I can turn you. But then I'm kind of making him into some sort of superhero in a way. So you become more dangerous in some ways.
I guess.
I don't know.
But as a human, being afraid of this invulnerable monster would make me want to kill him even more.
Or like to go very extreme or whatever.
Yeah.
Fuck, yeah. No, I totally agree with you, like, practically, because he's going to be hanging out with the henchmen. He's going to be like, yeah, it's great that we can't die, or you can't die, I guess. And they'll go, as long as no one hits us in the head. And you'll go, oh, interesting. And then fucking go back and just kill Blaine.
Yeah.
Like, that's how this would actually play out in, like, the real world, right? You'd be like, oh.
Because even just a hammer, like...
Right? A well-placed hammer.
Yeah, that kind of stuff annoys me. Anything else of note happened in this episode?
Of note? That's a high standard here.
Noteworthy things that topic.
Oh, so while he's talking to Stacey Boss, I started jotting some shit down.
What'd you jot down?
So what I forgot, I was searching for it and trying to talk and find it earlier, and I couldn't. But yeah, like I like Stacey Boss. He says he's like hi and like shoots him, and then he goes, oh, would you want some time to monologue? Sorry, and shoots him or whatever.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, that's awesome, because that's fucking that's making fun of shit
what
like
I thought was crazy was the girl comes down from the top. She's like whatever she says, like big mistake or
yeah,
whatever.
Hands off him.
I would have shot her immediately too. Like at the
Yeah.
special time, I don't know what you are. I just hear something. A witness is at the very least has to die.
Yeah. I think he shot at her, right? Or
no.
Or did Blaine grab him?
He got
while
scared
Okay.
immediately.
Right.
He was like, red eyes.
Yeah, she shows up with the
Ben Stein and his fucking juice.
clear eyes. No, she shows up with the red eyes, and yeah, he doesn't yet know any of what that is, but his instinct is to not shoot when he's clearly demonstrated that shooting's okay with him. I don't know. Yeah, weird. I don't know why she's still loyal to Blaine or why Blaine still wants her around. Didn't she turn on him earlier? Isn't she?
Well, now he's in charge.
Hasn't she been like a fair weather whatever? Yeah, a clean house.
Which makes sense. She's a fair weather. The weather is fair right now, so she's on his side.
Super fair in Blaine Town, so she's totally in. Again, it's like I'm not sure why Blaine wants to surround himself with people. I mean, the reason is because we can't get new actors to play like.
And there's a finite amount of.
So it's fine.
Oh yeah, people are bringing the full zombies and whatnot.
Right. It's a big deal to bring in new zombies. I liked all the dialogue where he's like, and that would make me, and he's like a cannibal, and he goes. No, I mean technically
true,
yes, but and he goes through the whole thing.
A serial killer again.
Yeah.
Yes, but that's not what we're looking for.
He's like, I'm eating the brain. I'm very hard to kill. What do you? The whole thing that was funny. I enjoy that. He drops that brains. He says, "You're looking at 25, grand right here. This will last a zombie a month or whatever." So we've now canonically established, because we keep saying, how long does this fucking work for? What the fuck?
Well, judging by how Liv eats, I feel like as long as you froze that brain, one brain lasts you your whole life. Because she just, she cuts it down so far.
I know.
It's nothing.
Yep. But apparently she has to eat that every day or something, and, that's why it lasts a month or whatever.
Every day, yeah.
Because they go days without eating. I don't know how long that works or what the fuck's happening or whatever.
I feel like they've gone, 4 days, and they've been like, I'm fine.
Or they're like, I'm getting really fucked up, man, depending on what the plot
how long was Major
or
in prison for?
He had to go in for a long weekend or whatever, and that was a big crisis because he was hungry
and we don't know. I was gonna say we don't know how
long
long before he went in, but 4 days seems like the stretch.
Yeah, I feel like in less than a week with nothing, it starts to become a problem. Like the hunger might overtake you.
Yeah.
Oh, the hunger. And during that scene when he gets stabbed in the neck, Blaine gets the red eyes and stuff, but he can still talk. It was
there's the step between.
He wasn't fully powered
up.
Yeah.
It's like the guy running for mayor. That guy is
okay.
Like, relax.
Well, she had to talk him down, and he was feral and weird or whatever.
Blaine's had a lot more time as a zombie.
It felt to me like a Hulk, doing whatever as Hulk though moment where he's able to be, because that's a big deal. If you can, engage full-blown zombie Romero mode, but not be like limited to like
well,
a
that's
feral
kind of what we're
beast or
going to
something
get
like
when
that.
they go in at the
I would
next
hope.
episode, presumably, or else Ravi dies anyway.
We have to talk about that though. That'll be the last thing, because that's the brilliant plan. I got a call. I'm not sure what we're dealing with yet, but I know there's Nazi, zombie, hating, redneck people, whatever, at this facility. So let's go in completely off the and I was told that they're live streaming. So let's zombie up and get in there. And you're like, what the fuck? You could just call. I don't know.
Did he pass along on the phone that they are live streaming? Did they know that?
He said something like that. I feel like.
I think it's like they're going to film it for the whatever he said. But
he said
I don't
something
think
about
it's like
filming
it's happening
something.
right this second.
Okay, he may not have literally said that they are actually streaming currently, but he implied that like they're going to get footage or something like that, which would say to me like, oh, this is, and I don't know what else you would do. I guess you cannot call the cops because potentially Donnie's all fucked up and zombied out and all that stuff, but it's still like, I don't know about this plan. I don't know, Chief.
It's a necessity though, because like your boy's gonna get killed.
Your boys.
You're gonna get outed.
Yeah.
So you gotta go in.
Yeah, I go in, guns blazing, zombies.
You might have wanted to call Fillmore Graves.
They might have been able to help, no?
Like, pretty easily, I think.
Well, then maybe you're outing your, like, criminal brain operation?
Maybe.
Although, don't, like, half of your commando squads hang out at the scratching post all the time?
They do. So, you're out.
So it's probably fine?
There's a lot of flaws in this show. But,
we're going for it.
I think is that the button you have for you?
Last thing. He was really excited about getting 100,000, like, viewers or whatever the fuck.
Sure.
So I don't know when this was written. I don't know what. That's not really like a lot, right? You're trying to like.
Well,
this is like zombie
in the grand
time.
scale of things, if you had 100,000 people that believe your conspiracy, that's pretty good.
Well, and I'd be happy with that many views, but I feel like dumber viral videos that don't prove the existence of.
This is not a viral video; it's a live stream. Different.
That's what Well, yeah, but like click this, we have a zombie. Like holy shit.
I think
should be huge.
I think 100,000 for a live stream is decent. I'm not gonna say that that's old writing. I think that's fine.
Perhaps people, it's
still
a barrier to entry.
When you look at like your top fucking subscribed people,
yeah,
I think their live streams are like a couple 100,000.
Yeah.
And they have like 10 million subscribers.
They don't have zombies though. They don't have real zombies.
But you got to think of it this way:
barrier to entry.
If you don't have any subscribers,
people don't know
you're
what
just
to do
live streaming.
Yeah, you're just
even
relying
to have
on
100,000
word of mouth or whatever the
that
fuck.
Can only have seen it through word of mouth or on your website. That's huge for their cause. Huge.
Okay, fine. I feel like it's like we found aliens and this many people are tuning in. A tiny.
But how many podcasts do you think say I found aliens on a daily, whatever?
This is real.
But no one knows it's real.
I know.
And honestly, for the first hours, day even,
you
it's just a dude standing there.
I think even just I kidnapped a man and I'm filming it would have blown up. I don't know how long they've been up for and like broadcasting for.
24 hours, it seems.
Oh well, fuck then.
So like you'd have a lot large. I think you'd have more drop off in that first 5 hours. Like, okay, what is it? I'm out.
Oh, it's just a dude.
It's a guy screaming about German.
Just a guy.
Yeah.
Oh, it's just a guy.
All right, guys. So that was this week's episode of iZombie. Let us know in the comments what you thought. Don't die in a fire, and we'll see you next time.